It's been about 2 weeks since I started playing video games on a PC versus a console, and I can honestly say that the difference between the two are marginal at best. Certainly not $500 or $700 to $2,400 difference. It's wild, and I'm going to unpack that. Before that, I already made my coffee because I started this video, but there were technical difficulties. I'm not going to dump out a bunch of coffee just to do it again. There's already some heavy cream in it, and so shout out to the heavy cream, main cream, if you were there for the other video. Also, this is my degenerate coffee. I call it degenerate coffee because this is my villain arc, and so obviously it would be villainous saying that PC and console are the same. Ooh, controversial. And that's the coffee right there. So if you got Trader Joe's nearby, this is Trader Joe's branded maple flavored pre-ground coffee. It is delicious. But I want to go into my controversial statement, which is PC gaming and console gaming is the same. Now, the next question is, does that mean you're going back? Heck no. Heck no, I'm not going back. I'm sticking with PC gaming. But, let's talk about it. Over these past couple of days, or actually it's more than a week now, I've been streaming Black Myth Wukong and playing Black Myth Wukong over on twitch.tv/JDXCoffee. Definitely going to want to check that out. Hopefully by the first of the year, I'll be able to do full-time streaming. That's my goal. I'm really aggressively, you guys could probably see it, posting shorts. I'm doing the whole nine. I'm really trying to aggressively push to do that because I feel very, very strongly that is the avenue I want to go. I love live streaming, and honestly, this is basically just the same. I want this to turn into a podcast, but that's future plans. And so the experience between playing Black Myth on a PC versus a PlayStation 5 has been really interesting. The two biggest differences I've noticed between the two is on the PlayStation 5, you have a locked frame rate of 60, and if you want to increase the quality, it drops. On the PC, you don't have that locked frame rate. You can lock it if you would like, but you don't have to. You can actually just play it at whatever frame rate you decide to. You can unlock it. Now, if you're playing a game like Elden Ring, on the other hand, it's locked at 60. You can't go any higher from that. Even though you have a machine that may be able to do it, you actually can't change that unless you do some hoopla and whatchamit has it. I'm sure that there's ways to uncap it or whatever, but it's at 60 frames per second. Now, another difference between the two is visually, it does look better. I may be playing Elden Ring at native 4K, but on Black Myth, I'm not. I'm playing it on a upscaled version to maintain a higher frame rate. And so those two are the biggest. And also, I guess another one would be it supports wider, like a 21:9 aspect ratio. I'm not sure if PlayStation does. Maybe it does. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but I'm not going to put that out there. I'm just going to say that on my PC, I'm able to do that. Especially on my TV that I'm using, which is not a ultra wide, but it, letterboxes it so that I have that ultra wide experience at 21:9. It's pretty cool. It's definitely cool. It's got me interested in getting a 21:9 aspect ratio, but I'm not 100% sold out on it. So the difference between the two were those. With Black Myth Wukong being not quite optimized as well as it could, it actually just makes my PC have to do the same fiddlesticks, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't make sense. I need more coffee. I have a migraine, dude. I feel so gnarly. I've been dealing with sick kids. Dude, as a dad, seeing your kids sick is the worst. Not only because they're fussier and they're more challenging to deal with, but also because it's heartbreaking. My daughter, she's sick, but she's the kind of sick that's fighting it. She doesn't want to be sick, and so she's like, no, let's go play outside. And she'll run around for a few minutes and then kind of just stare off into the distance. And I'm like, oh, you poor thing. You're under the weather. You're sick. It's okay. We can stay inside and do nothing. It is a beautiful day outside, but we can stay inside and I can cuddle with you and, we can have a good time. My son, on the other hand, is a rambunctious menace to society, and his one goal in life is to watch the world burn. He's basically Joker. He just stands there and looks at you and then does something maniacal. Also, for those of you who have boys, I don't know if you experienced this, but my wife's experienced this a couple times. Every time she goes to change his diaper, I don't know why. She is a very, very daring person. She changes his diaper. So he's fussy. She'll change his diaper while he's standing up. Even if it's a poop diaper, she'll wipe standing up. I won't. I'll pin him to the ground. I'll put one leg on top of him, dude. Like I'm freaking pinning him like Stone Cold Steve Austin, dude. I'll do it. I'll lock him in. She'll let him do it. And then every once in a while, he'll get away from her and start running around. But if he gets running too fast and catches a breeze between the knees, just that little bit of stimulation causes him to pee. And so he's now spouting off like a crazy daisy, running all around the house, drawing any which way, making all these different paintings all over the floor. It's happened twice now. And I look at her and I go, why are you doing this? Why do you change him standing up? And she's like, he just won't lay down. And I'm like, that's crazy. And so I tried changing him standing up today, and I'm like, this is lunacy. I don't understand. But I let the memory sink in because I wasn't about to let him run about town. Because if he was to run about town, guess what he was going to do? Draw pictures. And so my boy's not drawing pictures, pantsless. Okay? Lesson of the day. Don't let your boys run around when they're too young. Because they catch a breeze and they're going to be spouting off pictures. Okay? There's a little nugget for the day. After all that, let's take a sippy sip on the coffee. Back to it. The difference between the two gaming experiences, I feel, are not in the performance as much as it is in the convenience. That sounds backwards. There's more performance on a PC. It looks better. Every time you play video games, you're stunned, JD. While I watch you live over on twitch.tv/JDXCoffee, I see your reactions, and you're flabbergasted. Something I could only experience while I'm watching you live at 6:30 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Shameless plug. Yes, I am going to plug the Twitch channel like every video because I want to stream full time. I'm doing it, dude. I'm posting 3 shorts a week on other channel. I'm going crazy on this. Make the dream happen. But the games itself are still doing the same dirty tricks. The little dirty magic tricks that the PlayStation's doing. I mean, PlayStation 5 Pro's whole marketing campaign was around their version of upscaling. PSSR. Their own branded version of upscaling. They're like, yeah, we got this special thing that does this special thing, and now your games have better frames and better resis. It's just upscaling, dog. Like, there's nothing crazy about that. You're just making a lower quality image look better at bigger resolutions. But you're doing it better, and you're doing some more dirty magic behind the scenes. Cool. Well, it got me thinking. If games run pretty consistent and solid on something like a PlayStation 5 Pro, an Xbox Series X, or even Xbox Series S with all of their dirty magic they do, and the PC doesn't have as good of an optimized experience that you're having to brute force, and so you are having or needing to spend more money on a higher quality, or not higher quality, higher capabilities in order to get a stable performance. That's a really interesting gaming situation. If I'm needing to spend $2,000 to $3,000 on a machine to be able to keep up. Now, here's the real deal though. I'm playing on a 4K monitor. If I was playing on a 1440p monitor, dude, of course, we're going to be pushing everything. You're not even going to be seeing a similar gaming experience. It's going to be far superior, higher pixel density. You're going to be able to run at higher frame rates. You're going to be able to turn on every setting under the sun, and you're not going to have to tax the machine as much. But I'm talking like for like here, because I didn't go from a 4K TV to a 1440p monitor. I went from a 4K TV to a 4K TV. And so my experience between the two has been, yes, it's been very cool to see these games run the way they do with the visuals the way they are. But gosh darn it, have I been more impressed? I'm impressed with my experience. It's not as clunky as I was anticipating. But I am far more impressed with the capabilities of something as lowly as an Xbox Series S pushing to a 4K monitor than I am with a $2,400 4080 Super jam-packed into a full-sized case with 10 fans. I'm going to be honest with you. My PC better play the games well. To know that the Series S can play it the way that it does, I'm starting to actually be stoked that I spent so much time covering that damn thing. If gaming as a whole is going to trend in this direction, where it's going, yo, we know you got the power, but we're not really going to spend time optimizing for PC. And so you best be using the same tricks our console buddies are doing, because if you're not, you're going to be having to brute force your way through it. And even a 4080 Super's not going to be able to do the trick. You're going to have to do all sorts of things and spend $3,000-$4,000. May even have to get some extra componentry in there just to get the same experience. Now, that's not true. You don't have to really get all that stuff in there because of all these different tricks. But games just aren't optimized the way they used to be. That's what I'm finding out. Again, Black Myth Wukong is a great example. Heck, even Final Fantasy games, dude. Final Fantasy 1 through 6, the Pixel Remaster, runs better on my Nintendo Switch OLED than it does on my Steam Deck OLED. Make it make sense, dude. Same game, same price. But it runs better, and don't even get me started how it runs on the PC. It runs fine. It's not saying it runs bad, but it runs more stable, consistent, and actually does the thing. This Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, all over on the the Nintendo Switch, run laps around their exact same titled releases on the Steam Deck. Dude, on the Steam Deck, for that Series X, for Final Fantasy X, I had to get a earlier release of Proton, install it on there just to run the game without it crashing. Don't get me started on how it runs on PC. Not the same. This kind of thing is really interesting to me. It's really fascinating because as someone who has decided to transition all of his gaming, at least third party, over to PC, the trade-off isn't that it's worse. It's that PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, as well as Nintendo Switch, are just so darn good. It is impressive how good these machines are at doing what they do. Yes, going from a PS5 to PS5 Pro is lackluster. They promised us all the features that were in the PS5 Pro when the PS5 launched, except didn't give us it. And now we're paying $300 plus to get everything all there. It's a smaller form factor, sure. It's bigger internals as far as the SSD is concerned, but still having to buy a stand for the damn thing as well as an additional disk drive, two things of which came with the standard edition that was on launch. You got a stand. Sure, it was plastic, but you got a stand. Yeah, it's insulting. And those are the little nuances in the releases that make me less interested in sticking with the console gaming space, is because of those kinds of things. Like, hey, we told you you're going to get this experience, but we couldn't really deliver on it. So instead, we're going to sell you the experience that we originally advertised. And then we're also going to release every single one of these titles over to PC as well. So there's really no exclusivity anymore. But then when you go and play them on PC, you're realizing not that the PC isn't better, because in a lot of ways it is better looking, but that the PlayStation 5 is not that far behind. It is, again, more stable, more consistent, able to be plugged and play. You can play on 4K TV, a 1440p monitor, doesn't matter. It does all the tricks. It's using all the little upscaling techniques. It's doing a lot of things behind the scenes. It's so unbelievable how much these three, right? I'm sticking with PlayStation, Xbox. Well, Xbox shouldn't even count because it's just a PC at this point. It's just an overly optimized PC, but I'm going to say it anyway. PlayStation, Xbox, and PC are so neck and neck at this point. There are things a PC can do that a PlayStation will never be able to do. Warcraft 3, sure. Be able to install mods, sure. Some people, of course, are going to be like, well, technically, you can install mods on anything. You just have to hack and slash these dudes. Come on, dude. Get a ball cap. Ditch the fedora. We're talking about what the normal people do. And so when it comes to this kind of thing, I'm like, wow, it's not that big of a difference. And that is really, really cool. It's really cool. I have concerns. I have some big time concerns. I'm going to slam this whole cup, dude. 500 grams of coffee down the gullet. I'm not chugging a double chug. I lied, a double chug. This mustache is out of this world insane. But it freaking pockets coffee, dude. I'm filled with coffee. There's so much coffee in this microphone. I bet if I put this coffee in this microphone, like unscrew this and put it into hot water, I could brew a full cup of coffee. It would taste atrocious. But I bet I could brew a full cup of coffee just with the microphone. Continuing on. When it comes to my concerns on this, it's very simple. I have seen a little bit of what the non-optimized gaming space looks like. I mean, there's a game, Final Fantasy 15, a great game. It has a Windows version, which is good. So they did a good enough job. But still, it's not as good as the PlayStation 4 version that runs on the PlayStation 5. Higher frames, sure. You can get that hair blowing in the wind and you can get some ray tracing from time to time, but it's just not as good as the PlayStation 4 version played on a PlayStation 5. Interesting. I'm sure that when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releases on PC, it's going to come with its own issues. Final Fantasy 16 had some. Don't get me started on Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor released, and it was a challenging game. And it still isn't perfect. And Black Myth Wukong at times has some interesting visual choices when it comes to ray tracing and reflections. All of these things are single-digit percentages. It's just like when someone's starting to diet. And back when I was better about diet and didn't look like a complete shloma. It's my brain's tongue-tied version of a Yiddish term that is actually schlompach. More coffee, please. And let me just address those of you going, hey man, too much coffee is bad for you. Okay. Dude, I'm spicy today. Oh gosh, my head hurts so bad. Hopefully this helps with the headache. But when it comes to the game performance, which I'm trying to say, or I don't even remember what I was trying to say when I started to do this. This is what happens when I'm doing this. Diet. Here we go. When it comes to diet, and people would be like, oh, nutrient timing. Should I worry about nutrient timing or micro stuff? And I'm like, dude, you eat Big Macs, bro. It doesn't matter. Stop eating Big Macs. We need to dial in some of the bigger issues before we start even getting close to nutrient timing. And nutrient timing is not even for someone unless you're in some sort of crazy deficit and you need to front load your carbohydrates so you have energy to work out. Nutrient timing is meaningless. It makes up for single digit percentages. And that's on a good day. We might even throw a decimal in there for some of you. It might even be a point something digit, right? And that's what I'm realizing when it comes to this gaming experience is my PC can do a bunch of cool things more than my PlayStation 5 could. I'm not even saying PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm curious now. I'm not going to go out and buy a PS5 Pro. It's a waste of money because I'm not ditching the PC, but I'm curious how much closer a PlayStation 5 Pro gets to a PC experience when it comes to this. But the only things this thing can do are, again, single-digit percentage increases, right? Better ray tracing. Visuals are nicer. Some games may be able to throw the word native before whatever resolution I'm choosing. Better frames in some ways. Increase the field of vision, FOV in some games. Add mouse and keyboard support natively rather than having to get weird with it on an Xbox Series X. These kinds of things. Play RTSs like Warcraft 3. These are, now that's a little bit different, but these things are so nuanced. I love the word nuance. I love it. It's such a great word. I've used it so many times. Also, huge shout out to the person who corrected me when I said nothing short of amazing, and it's anything short of amazing, and it's actually nothing short of amazing. Shout out to you, dude. Thank you. When it comes to idioms, I am an idiot. I did it. I finished my coffee. I feel better now. I genuinely feel better. Yeah. All that to say, dude, like, the difference between the two is so marginal. The biggest thing that keeps me locked and loaded on PC, and I would say as of now, unless something atrocious happens and I'm not able to hit my mark of paying for the PC by the end of January, is one thing. The biggest thing that's going forward is uniformity in library. Like 100%. I love the fact that when I buy a game on Steam, I can use it on my Steam Deck natively, for the most part. I have Steam Link, so I can play games like Black Myth, stream it to my thing. It's going to look better. I have family sharing for Steam if I want to. My kids are too young. It doesn't matter. My wife doesn't play the games I play, so that doesn't matter either. But it's in one place. It's in one place. My PS5 library, I've discontinued my PlayStation Plus premium service. I don't use it anymore. All those games I've downloaded over the past decade and a half, I don't have access to until I start paying Sony again to use those games. I have 30-something odd games that I actually do capital own, and I have some physicals down there that I own too. I like that about PC. And that is what is got me locked and loaded and not even looking another way. I got blinders on, dude. Like, I'm so locked into that. But I can honestly say after 30 years of playing video games on consoles only, zero PC gaming, one thing in PC's favor is it's not that complicated. Not at all. One thing in console's favor is hot dang, are they close. For some of you, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? 30 frames per second? Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm talking about that. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. What do you guys think? Let me know below. Please join me over on twitch.tv/JDXCoffee to watch live streams and be a part of a community. We're active, we're vibrant, we're having a good time. We sometimes talk about controversial things in Discord. It gets weird. People talk about stuff. It's cool. It's real cool. Awesome. So that's it. Play more and be kind. See you.